Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, you guessed it, we're talking more about Unreal Engine. We are making our voices heard, and we are talking about the things we like and dislike about Unreal Engine. But today, we're taking a step further. I, personally, am speculating that Wargaming is right now in the damage control panic mode zone. A lot of people are not happy with the changes that Wargaming is planning on making to Unreal Engine and the future of this game. We can see that Wargaming's video they posted has 17,000 dislikes and 9,600 likes. And, some people might say, oh, that's just fake. You used inspect element. I didn't. This is just an extension, which is called return YouTube dislike. I mean, on my own channel, you can see my own dislikes and likes. I have 1,400 likes on my video, 64 dislikes. So even if the number was slightly off for Wargaming's video, it doesn't matter. It is clearly showing that a massive portion of the Blitz player base is disagreeing. And we can see here a greater example. As a day one player after 10 years, I think it's finally the end of the line for me. Blitz isn't the game I grew up with. 2,000 dislikes, or 2,000 likes, which means basically 2,000 thumbs down. And we can see the pinned comment from Wargaming has 300 likes. Clearly, this is having an incredibly negative reputation, and a lot of the player base are not happy. I've already seen people start to review bomb the Steam page. It's not going well for Wargaming. Not only that, but they've started to go into panic mode in their Discord server, stating things that are completely hypocritical from what they've said before. I saw a post from Alexandra saying that win rate is being removed from the game, and then I saw a post from Tolian saying win rate's not being removed from the game. And it's insane. There's so much back and forth between the own people that are working on the game. They don't even know what the heck they're saying. They're probably backpedaling some of the decisions because of the amount of outcry that the community has right now. But that's good. You guys should make your voices heard. Now, obviously, the open test is not out until the 24th. So I think that we should wait for the open test before we, have our full opinions, which I am doing as well. But obviously, Wargaming is running into some really, really big backlash here. And it's to a point where they're choosing preferential treatment to their community contributors. Now, I am not an official CC for Wargaming. What that means is I have not signed any contract binding myself with Wargaming under legal, repercussion or anything like that. I don't know any of the super secret information that the CCs know. For example, Flossie said he signed an NDA, and then there was like a 2-hour presentation where they told the CCs what was happening in the game. I did not sign that. I don't know what they talked about there. Flossie did, but he's not allowed to talk about it. And that's what the CCs know, right? So the CCs are people that have information that is undisclosed to the public. But here's the really interesting part, right? Wargaming told people like Flossie that they're not allowed to post this information until it goes public on the test server, which will be on the 24th of January. Right now, it's the 18th, so that's 6 days away. But here's the really interesting part. There are 3 content creators, N90, Guides Blitz, and MUNet, who have all posted actual in-game footage of the commanders, and they are talking about them. It's really weird that you have 3 content creators all posting information about commanders and not bashing on them. That's very interesting. You want my speculation? My speculation is that Wargaming is having their most trusted contributors to post content on the game to downplay what the commanders are. That is my personal look at this. And the reason why is because Flossie didn't even know about any of this. He has no access to a test branch of the game. He has not been able to even talk about anything. Yet, select community contributors are allowed to talk about this and share their opinions. That is complete bullcrap. First of all, Flossie, as my friend, gets more views than any of these content creators. And that's not to say that he should get preferential treatment, but they can't make the argument that like, oh, Flossie's a small content creator, he doesn't get views. His video 2 days ago talking about Unreal Engine 5 is 5,600 views, and yet, these videos here, 700 views in 4 hours, 500 views in 7 hours. Flossie gets more views than these content creators, he posts more than these content creators, and legitimately has more reach. So Wargaming can't make the argument that, oh, well, these content creators post more, they're more active in the game. No, there's no argument. I would seriously like to know from these community contributors who were allowed to post information on the commanders why the other contributors who also signed the same NDA as you were not allowed to also record videos on the commanders. My take on the situation is that these special CCs were told by Wargaming that they want them to make a video on the commanders to talk about them. That way, people aren't going to hate them as much. That is my guess. Now, as always, the CCs, these select CCs, will probably make a video saying, we didn't get that treatment. But then why does Flossie and why do these other CCs? Flossie said he wasn't the only one complaining, and he hasn't told me names because he doesn't leak information from the CC chat. But what I can say is he said there are other people who have complained about this as well. I personally think it is completely unfair that somebody can sign a contract that says they're not allowed to talk about what's coming into the game, but then specific select CCs are allowed to basically ignore that and get access to the test server and share their own opinions and things that's going on with the game. As I said, my thought process is Wargaming picked the people that look up to Wargaming the most to talk about the commanders. Because let's be real. Anybody that has half a brain cell understands that these commanders are a terrible idea. They are completely overpowered. Duncan is stupid. Olivia Vasquez, you know, a mouse is going to have 3,900 health. I did the calculations. With improved assembly and Olivia Vasquez fully upgraded, your mouse is going to have 3,970 health with double sandbags. It's also going to reach a top speed of 28.5 kilometers per hour. Yeah, that sounds great, guys. And not only that, the light tank ability is completely useless. The tank destroyer one, anybody with half a brain cell would realize that Wargaming is removing the camouflage crew skill in the game, which is removing 21% of all classes camo. But then they're giving one specific branch of tanks, tank destroyers, 30% boosted camo. So tank destroyers are actually going to gain camo when Unreal Engine comes out if they keep these changes the way they are, where the other tanks are going to lose camo, meaning that the already unbalanced tank destroyers we have are going to be even worse. That's not to mention the fact that commanders have incredibly goofy voice lines that nobody wants to listen to, and the fact that the commanders just don't fit with the theming of the game. I agree with people. Commanders shouldn't be Fortnite looking. They should be looking like a tank commander. Go Google a World War II, it's not that hard. World War II tank commander. Here you go. This is what we wanted people to look like. Let's see. Do we have a... There you go. Why couldn't we have somebody like this commanding our tanks? Like, I don't know. Why couldn't the person look like this? Why does it have to look like some freaking 20-year-old teenager who's commanding the tanks? I seriously don't know. Obviously, Wargaming is doing the same thing every other major company is doing, which is inclusivity. They got to add a commander of every single race, every single ethnicity, every single gender, every single sexuality. And I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the fact that they look like they just dropped out of high school and yet they're commanding a tank and we have to listen to their goofy voice lines. It's just stupid. Like, I don't know, man. But this is not a tank commander. I think we can all agree that that Ducky doesn't look like a tank commander to me. But what do I know, right? She reminds me of frickin' Amani from GTA. It's goofy. I don't know how I feel about the commanders. Now, I will say I'm not entirely against commanders. I do think that they have some nice areas. I think that the ability to choose what you want your tank's strengths to be is very cool. I like that. What I don't like is the fact that right now the commanders are completely overpowered, and in the future, they will be paid. I can guarantee that Wargaming will sell commanders, and if they do, we need to make our voices heard. I don't have a problem with tanks being sold in crates, because at the end of the day, it's a tank, and it's very different than something that can actually affect each tank you have to an advantage or disadvantage. Wargaming right now is quoted as saying, we aren't going to put overpowered commanders behind a paywall. That doesn't matter. You're still putting a mechanic that other people may not have the capability of getting their hands on. Let's say one of the commanders that they put behind a paywall has 5% more view range. Okay, great. Now if you're playing comp, you're going to have to buy that commander to be able to outspot other tanks. It's stupid. Commanders do not They should not be behind a paywall. And if Wargaming does that, it's going to be the downfall of Blitz. We need to make our voices heard. And as I said, it is incredibly dumb that only 3 CCs were able to make information public on the test server, and yet others that sign the same NDA are not allowed to. I think it's bullcrap. I'm speaking for them because at the end of the day, if they complain, they'll probably be booted from the CC program. So I don't know, but I'm voicing my opinions here. I'm voicing what I have seen. Nobody has told me what to say here. Flossie did not tell me to make this video. Flossie does agree though that this is a little cringe that he joined the CC program. Not only that, but he gets more views than some of these other content creators, and yet was left out for some reason. Okay, well, whatever. I guess don't pay your CCs proper respect. But hey, oh well. That's World of Tanks Blitz for you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.